what's up? I'm Ben with Rough Country. We're going to install this kit today with my main man, Derek, on this Jeep Cherokee. This is our 3-inch X Series lift for Jeep Cherokees. The first step in this lift kit is to read the instruction, as you see Derek do it. But I want to point out, back page, there's some nice add-on sales, some things you guys need, like this magic hat that ensures all your bolts come out with no problems. Nothing breaks, nothing's rusted. Get a magic hat, call us. First step is to remove the upper shock hardware. Now we do that first because once the vehicle's lifted on the rack, it's hard to get to that location. Then we pull our wheels and tires off. We're going to remove the lower shock hardware. Now with the lower shock hardware removed, we can pull the whole shock out. We move to our next step, which is to drop the sway bar from the unibody. The reason we drop from the unibody is this kit uses a sway bar drop bracket instead of sway bar links. Now you'll see here where he's tightening up the sway bar drop bracket. He's not going to tighten those up all the way. He's going to leave them a little loose because we'll have to slide that around later. The next step is to remove the spring retaining clip. You saw he pulled out the brake hose there and bent that clip up just to give him room to get the wrench in. With that removed, we're going to pull out our lower control arm. So now he's loosening all the bolts, removing the hardware holding them in. He's going to take out the upper bolt first. And you'll see he's going to swing that down. That will take leverage off and he can pull that bolt out with ease. Now with that out, we put in our new lower arm. As you can see, it has the new Cleveite bushing in it. Greatest thing we've done in a while. We're going to pull out the factory coil spring, not the new one, the factory one. We're going to put in the new one, that's right. And if you don't have someone there to help you put leverage on the coil and push it into the bucket, pull out the track bar bolt. That'll drop the axle and give you more room to get the new coil spring in. With the new coil spring in, we put in our spring retainer bolt to hold that clip in. And we're going to go ahead and fasten the sway bar up, get that nice and tight, and we should be square on the road now. Last step on the front, and guys, I just want to point out, we're at 2.5 minutes right now, and we're almost through with the front. He's going to go ahead and put in the lower bolts, and this is a nitrogen charged shock. As you'll see, he's going to cut the band, and when he cuts the band, he's just going to kind of guide it into the engine bay, the area, and it'll stay there until we set the vehicle down. He'll install the bushing, and then he's going to put the cup washer on, facing downward, and he'll start that nut tightening with his hand, and he's going to finish it up with the impact wrench, and you'll see the bushing just start to squeeze, stop, thank you Derek, and that's perfect. Now we're moving to the rear. Now this kit comes with an add-a-leaf, and an add-a-leaf works by re-arching the spring, so we've got to get the spring off, and by taking off the U-bolts and the spring plate, as well as the sway bar which is attached to the spring plate, that will free up the leaf after removing the spring eye bolts. With the spring eye bolts removed, we're going to take the leaf off, carry it over to the workbench area where we'll put in our add-a-leaf. But before we put in the add-a-leaf, we're going to go ahead and remove the rear shock. And we did this because a lot of times these upper bolts and unibodies will break, and we were expecting a lot more work, but they actually came out really, really well. I don't know, just one of those freak things. So with the shock out, we've got the leaf out, we're on the workbench, we're going to remove the spring clips. Now Jeep, for some reason, puts like 16, no I'm kidding, they put 2 to 3 of these on each leaf pack. And they don't always come off as easy as you're seeing here. So be prepared to lose a little skin, a couple busted knuckles. They're not always that great to come off. Next, we're going to remove our center pin, tighten up some vice grips on the head of the bolt, remove the nut with the impact wrench, pull the center pin out. With the spring clips off and the center pin out, C-clamps are holding pressure on the leaf. Now with the C-clamps off, you spread that leaf spring apart, and you're going to put in your add-a-leaf. Now, this is not a centered leaf. That means the center pin is actually off-center of the spring. So make sure you've got the add-a-leaf turned the correct way where it's not overextending on one end. With your center pin in, start the nut tightened by hand. That's going to guide the leaves together. You tighten up with a C-clamp. And the next step, you're going to go ahead and tighten that center pin up with the impact wrench as far as you can. And then you'll finish off tightening it down with a wrench. Next step on the ad leaf process is to put in the quick clips, or new spring clips that we supply you. Just a little tap, tap, tap on the ends there to bend that in to make it easier to get into the plate. Once you have the plate on, you need to flush it up to the leaf spring as best you can, as you see him doing here with the C-clamp. He's just putting extra pressure on it to make sure it's against the leaf squarely. Once it's square, tap down the tabs, and then you're going to cut off your excess center pin with a cutoff wheel or hand grinder and reinstall the leaf spring. And you'll see here he's going to go ahead and he'll be putting in the spring eye bolts, which he would tighten down with the impact wrench as well. And next, we just want to fasten this to the axle. Now, it goes on the same way it comes off. You're going to reattach your U-bolts, your sway bar, everything to the spring plate. And he squirted a little rubbing alcohol on that bushing. That makes it very easy to press in. We're going to tighten up our shock hardware. And guys, 6 minutes, we've got a 3-inch lift on the Jeep Cherokee. And now we're going to show you a couple pictures of the Jeep before and after. Here it is before, after. Before, after. 3-inch lift kit, Jeep Cherokee. Again, I'm Ben with Rough Country Suspensions. Thanks for watching, and please tune in for more video installs.